Now I'm going to invite the protagonist himself. Shomie sir has studied at Cambridge University and comes from a family where 5 successive generations have attended Cambridge, probably the only family in India with such a distinction, I'm sure. Shomie sir is the only person to have headed all 3 of India's top boarding schools, Mayo College in Ajmer, Lawrence School in Sanavar, and the Doon School in Dehradun. He's been instrumental in setting up over 75 schools designed for the 21st century, including Oak Ridge. It is my absolute privilege to invite the protagonist of the book in person and the shining and guiding light of Oak Ridge for such a long time, Mr. Shomie Das, to interact with us. This is the first time a character of the book is coming out of the book. So,
Your Excellency, Mr. Nagaprasad, Mr. Rajshekar, dignitaries, my friends who are all sitting here, and it's lovely to see you all, especially the ladies. It was a very unlikely time when I met Raj and Nagaprasad. And I was concerned that they wanted to build a school. And I said that these 2 men of about 30 years of age, they didn't look that they were very rich. How would they build a school? And here we are standing in one of those schools. And it happens because of the special character of these 2 men. They cling to an idea like leeches, and they don't let go until they have arrived at the solution. And the other important thing about them is that they take up educational ideas with very great enthusiasm. And that's not what many people do. Most people have ideas already in them, and when they hear about anyone else having an idea, they think theirs is better and doesn't need any consideration. So I was very impressed with the way that they went about the beginnings of the school. And I realized that we had an interesting couple who would do their best to make sure that my ideas were going to be implemented. No one else, of the 75 schools I had done before, no one had really cared for ideas in education. What they did care for was what the bottom line was, what profit they would get. So it used to be somewhat saddening for me, except there were about 3 or 4 schools which were concerned. So that's how we started, and that's how I got involved with both Nagaprasad and Rajshekar. And we are totally different. I had a very sophisticated, anglicized background, having been educated in top schools and top universities, and met with big people. And here were 2 people who came from the hinterland of Andhra. And their background was that they were aspirational. They were aspirational, and they were the ones, and are the ones today, people like them, who are the makers of modern India. it is interesting that while I, kept thinking, how are they going to do this and how are they going to do that, I began in front of me seeing two people who are obsessed of an idea. And they are not unusual in India, in modern India. The reason why India has progressed in the way it has is because of the aspiration of its young people who have come along and taken ideas. And I'm very happy to be part of that idea, because I'm not aspirational. I have everything. I had the education, I had the job, I had everything. So I needed someone who was aspirational like them to put any idea that I had into practice. It wouldn't have happened otherwise. And that is one of the great learnings that I've had, and what I'm interested in telling people about is that modern India is made of people who have taken on from the past and taken on from the future and made themselves relevant and made their aspirations come to life. I've been always very interested in this process, that we were brought together. And had we not been brought together, they would have gone on with their things, they would have done good things, but they would not have put my ideas into operation. And that is the thing that has interested me. Now, what are those ideas that I had? My first job was in a very remote place in Scotland, which was started by a man called Kurt Hahn. Kurt Hahn was a German Jew who had to leave Germany because the Gestapo were after him. And he left Germany, where he had started a school, and escaped to Britain, where he started the school called Gordonston. And when I met him, it was because of him that I actually applied for the job there, and I was lucky to get it. He invited me for breakfast, as he did with a lot of his young staff. He would have them for breakfast. And he would talk to them and, in a sense, brainwash them. And he said to me, he said, a ship is safe in a harbor. But that's not what it is built for. A child is safe at home. But that's not what we want from him. We want people like Naga and Raj to come out and step out and seek adventure. If that hadn't happened in the past, we would never be where we are today, because of this curiosity, the nature of our human souls, that we are always wanting to find out and discover. And so, the job of our schools is to prepare them to set sail into the future. And I have to say that in that, my faith in Oak Ridge and the way they've educated children has been vindicated at all stages. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to have spoken to you all. I'm grateful to you, Your Excellency, for having come here to release the book, And I'm grateful to Naga most of all. Raj, of course, but Naga most of all, for writing a book. Who would have thought that this man who comes from this village in Newsweed would sit and write a book? I couldn't do it. And here I was, an educated person. So congratulations, Naga, for having written this lovely book, which I have enjoyed. Thank you.